Washington State, things are changing.
Yep.
So Washington State has passed their ADU bill. An ADU is an accessory dwelling unit. Think of it, that little cottage, the mother-in-law, the little house you build in the backyard, or you glue it on to the existing house. Washington passed a very aggressive one. It's been adopted in some counties and some cities already.
Mm-hmm.
I have 9 of them going in our development projects right now. You're getting ready to start one too.
Yep.
Walk us through that, because when you called me, you were giddy like a 13-year-old boy, like, I have a toy.
We have a new toy. That's right. And it's not perfect, and it's relatively new, so we're still learning some of the caveats. But yes, it is a fun new toy, and it's built for this change of the market. And I think this will be maybe not nationwide, but any places where there's affordable housing crunch, right? Like it's going to be an issue. So Washington specifically, like you said, by July 1st next year, everybody has to adopt this, right? So there are places where they're already seeing it, already doing it. We've got one in, I guess it ends up being unincorporated Snohomish County on the border of Edmonds. And so I hear, thankfully, we're not in the city of Edmonds because they're not ready yet. They're close, but they're not ready yet. And so what this product does is it allows us to use, this is maybe getting a little nerdy, but with a home equity line of credit, typically we do an appraisal. And let's say your house is worth $1 million. And you owe $700,000. On $1 million value, we can go up to 80 to maybe 90% of the value. So let's say it's 80. That means we could go up to $800,000 minus the value of your first mortgage. So you get a $100,000 home equity line of credit. But I want to build a $325,000 dadu, detached ADU. Well, that's $100K is not going to get me there, right? But if I want to build this $325,000 dadu in my backyard that has some alley access, perfect setup, right? I can do with this new home equity line of credit product, I can do an ARV appraisal. So ARV is after repair value. So assuming we have already built said dadu and value the home and dadu together, and maybe that number is 1.5, right? Because you're going to spend $325 on it. Likelihood is good. It's going to be worth $500. Maybe more in certain areas, right? When you're done. And so you say, well, okay, now my value is 1.5. That same 80% loan to value, you can go up to 1.2 minus the $700,000. You can get a $500,000 line of credit on that $1 million house. And so effectively, when we close on that, you have a $1 million house with a $700,000 first and a $500,000 second. So you're overvalued, which is not a good plan if you don't intend to build the extra unit, right? But that's something that didn't exist prior to, right? So now we've got this budget. And the really cool thing is this is not a construction loan. It's a HELOC. And you'll get a checkbook. And when it's time to pay the contractor $40,000, you write a check. There's no inspection. There's no draw. You are in control.
What happens is when I'm building a home, I pay the bill. Then they come and check to see if the bill I paid was completed, and then I get a release from the contractor. So I paid it, the bank checks it, and I get a release. Then I give it all to the bank. Then they reimburse me. So it's a 30 to a 70-day cycle to get the money back. And what Cody's telling you is, hey, we're going to give you a checkbook, and you'll just go,
I know.
Love it.
Yeah. So killer product. It is a home equity line of credit. So it comes with a 10-year draw period. So you can draw on it, pay back, draw on it, pay back, just like any old normal line of credit for 10 years. And then after the 10 years, it goes to be a 20-year amortizing loan. So it's still a 30-year mortgage. The rates are very variable, depending upon credit score and loan to value. But the lowest I saw was prime plus 0.5. And so prime today at 8.5 would put you at 9 on the best setup there.
Which is cheaper than a lot of construction debt.
Certainly, yes. And there's not continual fees as they go out and see things and do the draw and all the other things, right? No fees.
Because I don't got to pay for the inspection fee. I don't got to pay for an additional appraisal fee.
Correct. The cost on that loan is 2% of the line amount. So if you got a $500,000 loan, it'd be $10,000. That can come out of the balance of the mortgage. You don't have to prepay it. And then $2,000 worth of appraisal, title, escrow, that sort of stuff. So
easy peasy.
Yeah. So if it's a $300,000 line, $6K, probably $8K total. $500,000 line, probably around $12K total. So also pretty great compared to what you'd pay for a construction loan, right? The other thing where this could be really great, right, is that's assuming, like, this is a cool product, assuming somebody just bought a house. But it's really cool assuming somebody bought a house 3 years ago.
Tell me more about that.
Well, because if I bought a house 3 years ago I have 2.75.
Oh.
I've got a spectacular rate on my awesome mortgage.
Yes.
I don't want to see that go away. And generally, without this type of product, what you have to do, if you're going to build that data and you need money and you need the ARV, you got to do a construction loan.
Yeah.
And you got to take out, you got to erase that old debt at 2.75. And now you got a bunch of new debt at 7, right? Instead, we get to hold on to the existing debt at 2.75 or 3, wherever you're at, and we put a new piece of debt on it, right? And so I think that's really valuable for somebody that's kind of been biding their time and they've been waiting for this law to come in, and maybe they've been saving up some scratch because they thought they were going to have to fund it out of their own money. So this product could be really good to unlock that. It also can be used for renovations too, right? If you just want to fix up your house.
This is phenomenal.